And so now it's letting them know you have the power and authority to fix this issue, the budget deficit. The guy I had dinner with last night, he's like, what the Board of Education should do is they should tell the superintendent, we need 3 ideas in 30 days of how we're going to get the budget. So
I will say something. Remember, this goes back. The Board of Education said, we need you to put together plans.
He brought one plan.
What did he do? One plan. So he's terrible at his job. He doesn't know how to do his job properly. He knows how to do the job the state wants him to do, but he doesn't know how to do what's best for the children. And that is all that should be done. If it costs more money, it should still be what is best for the children.
Correct.
Not what's best for the employees. Sorry, teachers. Love you. You have a hard job. But not what's best for the teachers.
Well,
we don't care about the adults.
Well, you know what I said?
We care about the students.
I said, why is there a teachers union, but there's not a student union? Who actually represents the kids?
Yes.
I mean, because the kids traditionally get screwed over. So they're talking about Harmon having low test scores. And we talked to the teachers. We're like, you're part of CS. I think it's CSI.
Yeah.
Crime scene investigation.
Yes. Well, there was a crime that was almost committed.
Oh, Lord. So
thankfully, it was stopped by the Board of Education.
They said, no one's come here to help us. We don't even, some lady said, we're on what program? So it's like, where's the superintendent?
That is
the
superintendent's job.
He was there once.
And I said
once in Harmon.
I said this, and we have had beef with the superintendent of Grant County Schools, but I will say,
tell everyone he used to be on our podcast once a month.
He used to be on
once
our
a quarter.
podcast until I started questioning him and the way he was doing stuff. But
he's allowed to come on anytime. Same thing to Dilly. You're more than welcome.
He was up at Union multiple times.
He was there
trying to bring their test scores up.
Correct.
What do you need? What can I do? That's your job, buddy.
Correct.
And if you're not at Harmon or or wherever the low schools are, trying to figure out how to bring them up, shame on you.
Well, it's not about the kids, to your point.
It's not about the kids.
So the Board of Education, in my opinion, the 4 people who voted actually made a vote, not because of some people in Elkins were like, are you threatened? Why did you vote? You wanted the state to come in. And I was listening to them. I'm like, they just don't have any clue. Because the way that the superintendent treasurer run the school actually hurts the people in Elkins. So the people in Elkins are looking at Harmon and Pickens as the problem. And I'm thinking, you're missing it. It's the people right in your backyard. The challenge is people in their backyard are their friends and their relatives.
Yeah.
So
who hired them?
Yeah. So another call. Hey, Justin, have you had the opportunity to find out about the driver's logs for there'd be vehicle logs for the county vehicles? I said, yeah, you know that Randolph County does not keep vehicle logs. So any of their, and they don't, I think they have 3, I think Brad told me. And just for the record, Brad's been very nice dealing with me. He really has. And so I'm not going to,
we know how the bookkeepers love us.
No, he's been, now Tony called me 3 times from his vacation. So I looked at his Facebook page, and he was having a party in like Aruba or something. I'm like, why is he calling me from Aruba? I'm serious. I have it on my Facebook Messenger, but Brad helps me out, and so the challenge, I have no clue where I was going until we got off the
vehicle logs.
Oh, the vehicle. There's no vehicle logs. And they told me that. And I have it in email. We don't keep vehicle logs. So the lady said, listen, Justin, just so you know, in Randolph County, there is a culture of non-accountability, and people just do what they want because they think they can, because they see leadership do it. They see other people do it. She's like, people just go take a vehicle and just go do their own thing. Some of them, I don't know what bus drivers can or can't do. and I don't want to talk back because bus drivers don't have a fun job. I wouldn't want to do it. But they're like, oh yeah, they'll take their bus and they'll go here. And I can't imagine taking your bus just to go get the mail or something. But so people are saying, oh no, Randolph County, there's no accountability, and they're not looking out for how they act with taxpayer money. So there's no vehicle logs.
And that's what you have to remember. It's not your money.
Taxpayer money.
You create the money.
Yeah.
You haven't done. Now, I know your taxes that you make from your salary goes into it, but the government does not create money, can't make money, period. Well, they can only get it from taxes.
And just so you know, I told them, I said, listen, I have on my company vehicle a GPS, a log. My company pays for my vehicle. They know where I'm at. So I'm not government money. And someone told me, they said, listen, you need to bring that up to the state because that may be out of code. And I didn't look because it's out of the 100,000 things I have. I'm not. Yeah. But they have no vehicle logs, and so who knows what's going on? Who knows where? Because they're like, oh, we take vehicles. Well, there's no way to prove it because they don't have logs. So
that just is.
It doesn't shock me.
The superintendent does not run a proper
suggestions for the Board of Education. The next meeting, I think it's next week. First off, I applaud them for taking the reins back. We're going to make the decision. I think that's great. Because they're who are voted in by the public.
Yes, the public wants them to make the decision.
The public did not vote. They did not vote in Dilley. They didn't hire in Dilley.
No.
They didn't do that. The public elected the 5 Board of Education members. My suggestion is the next meeting, somebody needs to bring up, say, I would like to, what's it called? Get a motion where make a motion that every one of our vehicles have a county log and every mile is documented. Number 2, I want to make a motion that the superintendent no longer has the authority to spend any money, 1 penny, unless it's pre-approved by the board. So they have to start taking back their reins, because the challenge is Tuesday, the superintendent had no issue saying, well, all of us, all the kids are are at a disadvantage. I don't know if he used disadvantage, I forget, because of the decisions. And he was like totally taking the Board of Education, throwing them under the bus. And the parents felt the same way. And so this, what's his name? Ross, this Ross guy, who I was told was Board of Education, was the driver's ed teacher in Harmon. I said, well, that's good. How often is he there? They said, well, we saw him once this year. I said, well, he's how long have you been in school? 5 months? He once? They're like, yeah, he works half days. I was told from the school he has 2 classes he teaches, and then he does the rest of the day in athletic director stuff. Anyway, he made a comment, well, until the county citizens learn that we gotta fund the schools. And I'm here like, dude, 60% of your property tax goes to where?
Those schools.
It's like 58, whatever it may be. Goes to schools. So when they talk about a levy or a bond, because what are they called? They're called excess
levies.
Because you already have a levy.
You already pay.
Now this is another levy.
Of people, we've discussed this. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
There is already a school levy.
Yep. And it's 59% of your...
like 59.5%.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty close.
So the citizens already pay, I think the number was... for the county, I saw I'm going from memory here. It was like $20 million or something. I'm going from memory, so don't quote me on that. But the citizens already pay 60% of their property tax goes towards the schools,
and then the money that the state gives them,
that's their state
comes
income
from
tax.
money that we paid to the state.
Yeah,
and then the money that the federal government gives them comes from our taxes that we've paid in.
It's all tax money. Well, that's the thing. I don't understand why they don't get that. Every dime in that school is taxpayers' dollar. It's not like money just appears,
Yeah.
And so when I hear comments like that, I'm just like, man, I wish they would get the emotion under control, and they'd sit back and say, okay, let's look at it, because we're trying to dive in, because the decisions that the superintendent makes affect the kids in Elkins. And the Elkins people were almost, now they feel like, oh, we're not gonna have a school anymore. They have a very nice school. Yeah. I graduated from Petersburg. We didn't have it was nice. An auditorium. The auditorium was very nice. The sound guy isn't very good. Just for the record. Just for the record.
Do you think they'll hire me on $90,000 a year just to do sound half a day?
If you marry Brad, you may get hired on. I don't know if he's up for marrying you, but if you become a relative of somebody in the office, they'll hire you right away. They will. It's great.
Yeah.
So that's what we've uncovered. What we're trying to do is encourage the board that the authority is in your hands. You were voted into the office by the people, and Dilley may be who you hired to be the superintendent of schools, but don't believe the state when they say he knows what he's doing. He's the expert, because looking at his plan he did last time, that wasn't a well thought through plan.
No.
And he talked Tuesday night about, well, we can't close Elkins School, because there was a thought about closing 2 elementary schools.
It was in his plan to close 2 elementary schools.
Well, that was in year 3. But last night, Tuesday night, somebody had questioned him on why don't you close Elkins schools? And so he gave a 15-minute presentation of why he couldn't. Just so you know, the 15-minute presentation why he couldn't, there was false information all through it. The county commissioner said, we can rezone this. That's easy. That's not. He's making it seem hard. We can rezone it, and we can get it down where kids now. These kids that now it would affect the kids in Elkins. Absolutely would, but it's affecting them like 10 minutes. It's not affecting them by
an hour and a half.
And I
don't know, whatever.
Well, it depends on. I mean, it takes me from Harmon on a good day, Harmon to Elkins, 25 minutes on a good day. I think the sheriff said that they could get to Elkins, they can get to Harmon in emergency in like 20, 25 minutes. So it may take 30 minutes. But so it would affect the kids in Elkins, yes. But it would affect them not as drastically as on a bus over the mountain, right? So he's trying to downplay the plan of closing to an Elkins school, and one of the schools needed a new roof and something. So we've been going down that road, and we're trying to take everything he presented Tuesday and fact check it, because we found out thus far that some of it just wasn't honest. The way he presents it just wasn't honest.
The whole thing is, it just shows they waste money. What? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Pickens one of the newer schools built?
It was, I think it was in the early 2000s.
Okay. So one of the newer schools.
Either built or massive reno.
Okay. So whatever it was, something happened. It's been upgraded, let's just say. Whether it's newer or whatever. It's been upgraded, and it has water that they spent money on to it.
To run
city water. So let's get rid of that. Okay.
Well, but what he says is the newest school is the Elkins High School, and that's from 1990. And I said, when he told me that, I said, but I thought Pickens was new. And then Brad said, yeah, it was something, So he tells like a partial story. So he's like water, it's hard to catch someone when they're like,
oh no, it's very easy to catch liars. He's not smooth enough.
The saying is they slip through your fingers like water. Or what he says does.
I think liars are very easy to catch when you have numbers and you can actually do some research. So he's not smooth enough to be a good liar. He's not smooth enough.
Well, the thing is that the teachers are coming to us saying, whoa. He talked about, well, Elkins, there's only this many empty classrooms. So the report he used was about empty classrooms. We got a call immediately. That's not true. This school has 2 more empty classrooms than what he's saying. And like I've said, people are calling us. I don't understand why. But
we want to thank the people of Elkins
who been reaching out,
contacted us. We're not bashing Elkins in any way.
No.
What we're doing is we have to think of what's best for the entire county.
Every kid matters.
And every kid matters.
Every kid.
Your kid matters just as much, but you've got to admit in your heart of hearts, shipping kids over those mountains is not smart. It's not smart.
Listen, one of our first ever concerts was at Ronnie Nestor's bowling alley.
Yes.
And my Lord, that's been like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
And we did so good. Now we're professional musicians. Yeah. Never mind. So he talked about empty classrooms. Here's a report about capacity and how much space is left. So when he was talking about empty classrooms, well, we only have this many empty classrooms. First, we got a call that was not honest. So I'm like, I'm wondering where he gets this information from. So teachers, we're at this school that's not honest. Then I got a report here showing capacity and how much availability. So if you go down through here, it says based on current enrollment, Beverly has the capacity for an extra 116 students, Colton extra 215, Elkins High an extra 381, Elkins Middle 407, George Ward 123, Harmon has capacity for another 289. Jennings 111, Midland 173, North 111, Pickens 166, Third Ward 29, and Taggart's Valley Middle High 457. So he didn't talk about capacity per school. He talked about empty classrooms, but I have a great idea. Ready? Here's my idea.
Okay, let's see.
To make sure that we're being fair and everyone gets to go through the same trauma, I think the next thing that the superintendent should suggest is we close down 2 elementary schools in Elkins and we ship them to Harmon because they have an extra 289 people.
There you go.
So that would be the same concept.
Yes, it would.
So I think we should do that and see the people in Elkins freak out. Because if I was them, I would freak out.
And they would have every right to freak out.
Yeah. I'm not sending my kids over that mountain.
Exactly.
We agree.
Exactly.
But so looking at this, so even how he talks, it's like it's half truth. And like I said, he commented he was very, I don't want to say offended. He was just commenting how people were, calling me a liar, and I'm like, dude, you're not honest, And it's unfortunate.
If you're not honest, does that make you a liar if you're not honest?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so that was some of the stuff that, and we've been talking probably an hour, but some of the stuff that really stuck out was we want the people of all of Randolph County to step back and say, okay, show us really what's going on.
The people of Randolph County should be livid
their tax
that their money is being wasted.
Totally agree.
I'm telling you that teacher should be maybe not fired, that the union rep, but she should be charged. She should be charged. It should be automatically, hey, listen, we're charging you, I don't know, what is it at Kinko's? 10 cents a copy, 20 cents a copy.
I'll have to look because we at the church we have we get charged so much of black and white and so much of color.
Yeah,
but no, they should.
And she should be charged.
She have to pay for it.
You have your choice. You can either pay for it or we're going to fire you. And let her try to represent herself because she knows what she did was wrong.
Well, here's what I'm shocked about.
As a union rep. Oh my God.
Why wasn't the union rep helping the teachers of Harmon that were reprimanded by the superintendent from liking posts to keep Harmon open?
This lady
where was she?
Removed immediately.
But where was she? Isn't that her job?
Her job is to all teachers.
Yes.
She just cares about those ones that she's friends with.
Well, she doesn't have a lot of friends, I was told. She's friends with Dilly's. She's friends with Dilly's wife.
Well, there you go. Remove her.
But why wasn't she there helping the teachers in Harmon who were being treated unfairly by the superintendent?
And I'm sure she gets paid extra. The extra pay needs gone. I was a union rep.
Oh, you were one of those?
I was a union rep.
We can't do this podcast
anymore.
My
job is I represent
everybody.
All.
Yeah.
In that, I'm sorry. I was not a union rep. The word just came to me. No, it's the same thing.
You're lying like Dilly.
I was a shop steward.
Okay.
Which was in my building.
Yeah.
I was the rep.
Okay.
For those people in my building that reported to the union rep. You got paid extra.
Is there anything else you want to correct that you said wrong this podcast?
No. I was telling. No, we were talking the other day. I was like union rep, and I knew that wasn't the right word. It hit me when I said shop steward. But
it's I've said it. Losing a job isn't fun, and I don't want to go after a specific person. What I'm sitting and saying is, if you represent the teachers, and it's like this, you represent every student. So when you want to put up metal detectors, they need to go in every school. The Tigris Valley issue, where it was probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Dude, I told them when they were in the back of the room, and he thought, said, make sure you're here every meeting. Because now, guess what Dilly's saying?
What?
And now with the way the vote went, now we're not the money to put in gun detectors now. So now people are saying, oh my God, the Board of Education messed up. Now we don't get gun detectors. And you know what I said? Well, if they fired someone at the front office, they could get the $100,000 to do that.
Yeah.
So
I know a superintendent position that could come open.
Where?
No, I'm saying that would be $119,000.
Well,
you just get rid of them.
You need a superintendent, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, listen, there's stuff they do that I wouldn't want to have to deal with. So there is value there, but seeing what they're taught by the state and how they're pushed, it
all
worries
the
me.
Citizens that pay taxes should want their taxes spent wisely.
Correct.
And when you see the amount of waste and no accountability on what they spend it on.
No accountability. They even hire people for $80,000, $90,000 without an education in what they hired them for. So it'd be like me hiring you to be my video cameraman, and you have no education, but I say, hey, listen, I'm going to pay you $90,000. I want you to come be my director.
Which still shocks me.
You should have an education what they hired you for.
Yeah.
Now Brad has an accounting degree. So he has an education in that field, right? But I'm sitting here, so I asked that question. I said, so is there a requirement when the county hires that they have to have an education what they're hired for? And he said, no. I'm like, really? No.
Shocks me.
So what the point of this is to try to give total transparency, because taxpayers in Elkin should be just as pissed as in Harmon.
Yeah,
because
it's a waste of their money.
You know why they don't get the programs which they get very good. Trust me, my God, they get very good programs. They get more programs than I had when I was in high school.
So here's the thing, and let's bring that up. Let's just talk about that, because we had, I think it was you I talked to. No, it was my wife. I said, the kids are there to learn.
Number one priority.
Number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
Are extracurricular activities good? Yes, there is a direct correlation to those that are in extracurricular activities. Yeah, tend to do better in school and tend to do better in learning.
They have leadership skills.
But do we need to have an archery team, a chess debate team, a chess team, a football team, middle school football team, middle school
junior high,
where you have 700 extracurricular activities that are costing money on every front?
So here's what you do, because I do agree. And when I went to Petersburg, we had 7 through 12, of course, is the high school. We had a high school team, football team, and then we had a JV team, junior varsity, right? And we didn't have archery then. We had tennis. We had base. We were actually good in baseball. Brian Moore was our big baseball star. And so we didn't have a million things, but now they have so much. But the thing is,
and they're going to middle school now.
It comes at a price.
Yeah.
And so you almost have to say, and maybe they're doing this. Maybe we're speaking out of tune. Maybe they're raising funds to do those through the PTO or whatever it may be called, athletics. Right? Maybe they're doing that, but that should never be the priority for school.
So here's my question:
Never.
Does the athletic department pay all bus trips?
And I don't know, because they don't have vehicle logs. So I don't know.
So that would be the question.
The buses right now in Randolph County, maybe in Barber County.
If the athletic department pays for every sport out of funds that they raise themselves,
I would assume that. We know a bus driver. We'll ask him.
Yeah, I would say that for those, I would say the gas. I would say that the athletic department doesn't pay for the gas for the buses to go to away trips.
Knowing what we have at the church, gas is the least of the issues.
Yeah.
Wear and tear is more than the gas.
Yeah. Tires, insurance, all that.
But no, it's a good question. But that should not be the priority. I do agree.
No, we're more worried about our kid being a football star than we are worried about knowing how to balance a checkbook, knowing what interest rates are, knowing what compound interest rates are, knowing how to invest money.
There's definitely more other priorities.